bro. Nah,
We're live.
Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast, the only live streaming in-person arts and entertainment podcast covering northeastern Pennsylvania, offering a true alternative voice in local media. We're coming to you from the NEPA Scene studio underneath Center City Print in downtown Scranton. I'm Rich Howells, the founder and editor of NEPA Scene, and tonight we're here with Atmosfere Music Festival organizers Keven Martinez and Steeze, and performers Sha Freshcobar and Gus the Savage. We're going to talk about this event coming to the Ritz Theater in Scranton on Saturday, July 20th, billed as the first ever hip-hop music festival in the 570. The need to highlight NEPA's rap and hip-hop artists and the communities that surrounds them. Baker Immaculate, a lifestyle brand that includes music and clothing. The Middleman Podcast, Steeze's work as an audio engineer and producer at Encore Studios. Gus branching off into other music genres like alternative rock and much, much more. So please stay tuned for the full hour. We would love to hear from you guys down below in the comments. So anything you want to add to the conversation, now's the time to do that. Or if you hear something that interests you or piques your interest, or you want to ask a question about a subject that we're talking about as we go, please leave that down below. We'd love to see some interaction down there. Before we dive in, I just want to thank our sponsor, Center City Print, who's provided this amazing studio space for us. You can use promo code NEPA Scene in person or online at Center City Print for 10%. Center City Print can bring your ideas to life in 3 locations: Scranton, Kingston, and Hazleton. These one-stop shops are locally owned and operated, offering high-quality printed products, copy and custom print services, and design solutions to help you, your small business, your nonprofit, your band, your photography, your art project, or any venture thrive. Visit them now at centercityprint.com and use promo code NEPA Scene online or in person for 10% off.
share a video right here. It's a dope live show.
All right, guys. So I figure we could start by maybe learning a little bit about each of you before we kind of get into the overall festival and subjects in hand and stuff. So, Keven, you're stuck in the middle.
Yeah, man.
So I feel like you should be able to go first.
All right, fair enough.
So tell us a little bit about you do the Middleman Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into podcasting?
I got into podcasting based off of like a Snapchat thing that I started during like COVID. So like every week, every Wednesday, I would do like a 2-minute rant called "What Will Kmart Shut Down?" Okay. A friend of mine, like, he enjoyed me doing things like that. He's like, yo, you should create this into something called, and I was like, what do I call it? He's like, what will Kmart shut down? My nickname is Kmart Keven Martinez.
Okay.
My full name. That later developed into the Shutdown Podcast with a co-host. And long story short, it was just my passion, and I wanted to do it, and my co-host wasn't so much into it. So, I packed up and moved from Mount Pocono and came to Scranton. And I knew I wanted to rebrand, So the Shutdown Podcast was a lot of fun. It was just kids, sitting there, just talking smack. And it was a little bit negative as well. So it wasn't something that I wanted to keep going, because the whole thesis of it at the end was to shut something down. And you never know. You could always offend someone. So, I just went into trial and tribulation. I knew what I wanted to do, which was to do something positive and bring people together and, highlight what they do. I want to hear people's stories, how they got there, where they're going, and, so on and so forth. So just through like the trial and tribulation to coming up with names, I came up with the Middleman Podcast off of a song called Hit by Kenny Mason. And it was like just a prelude. And he's like, I'm the middleman. And I was like, the middleman. I was like, that works. So essentially that's how I got the name, and the thesis has always been to build a platform for people to share their story and to hear where they're going and hear where they came from and things of that nature. So, and the way I view my platform is I am in the middle from my studio, that conversation that you and I are going to have, and then the rest of the world being able to hear the rest of your story. Because if I don't distribute, if I don't post, it's not going anywhere.
Sure.
So that's the Middleman Podcast. That's how I got into podcasting.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I got to say, you sent me the podcast because you've interviewed all these gentlemen here.
Yes.
And so I listened to them all, and I really, really enjoy the show.
Thank you.
It's really well produced. It's well edited. It sounds great. It looks great. But you're also a good interviewer. And those are hard to come by.
That's a big part. He's the yapper. He likes to get the yapping going.
You also have to listen to be a great interviewer, right?
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. And, it took me a long time to acquire that skill, and I'm still working on it all the time.
Sure.
But, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. So how do you choose what guests are on? So maybe somebody who hasn't been on, what are the types of guests that you're looking for, or what can people expect when they tune in?
I'm looking for people who are actively putting in the work. Okay. For me, like starting out, you'll take anyone who will come on the show. After a while, and you've been doing it for a while, you want to make sure that this episode is not going to be what I would call, quote unquote, a wasted episode. It's like you're going to say something, you're going to do something, and then you just fall off the train. And I understand things happen, things happen, life happens, right? But, I'm looking for people who are actively putting in work and, have a very professional approach on how they come to the podcast. I don't like when people are like, yo, let me get a show. Things of that nature.
Yes.
It's like, excuse me, who are you and what do you do? But I look for people from all walks of life, and I say my show is tailored to the guest. So depending on what the guest does is what you're going to hear. And I genuinely have to be interested in it because I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to bullcrap my viewers. I'm not going to bullcrap the guests. I want to be genuine about every show that I do. So I'm looking for people who are actively putting in work and, just have a really good approach, a good brand and things of that nature. You could be just starting out, but if you have that drive behind you and you have that professional approach, I will want to have that show and get that going with someone. So, yeah, but there's really no limit as to who we talk to. There really is no limit. I've talked to a abundance number of people: ghost hunters, producers, artists, poets, comedians. Just all ghost hunters, exotic snake handlers. I just had Bill Dixon Magic. Okay, a magician.
Cool.
I've always wanted a magician. Shout out Dan from Encore Studios. He made that happen.
Shout out.
That's what I love to do, man. It's a lot of fun, and I'm excited for this journey to just continue to grow because each and every week with the consistency, I continue to grow, and that's what's important. It's just I know I'm doing something right, so we're gonna keep it going, So
I've interviewed both ghost hunters and Sasquatch hunters.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
And one common thread is when you're interviewing them, they really want to convince you that it's real and that you should believe in them. And they do not they can smell the skeptic on you.
It's like, you're not believing me, are you?
Yeah, I am not a believer in pretty much most things. So I'm very skeptical. So when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, I am happy to hear your story and what you think.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm diving into that. But yeah, I always thought that was a fun part of doing that.
If there's anyone out there watching, listening, a flat earther.
Ah, yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, yeah.
I want to entertain. I want to know the conversation because, they're brilliant sometimes. They're absolutely, you're right. They try to convince you. And then and if at the end of that conversation, I'm sitting there wondering if my whole life was a lie, that this earth is not spherical, that it's actually flat. I would just be baffled. But it's respect. It's not like I want to learn. I want to know how they think, and I want to, just have that conversation with people because it's just about having an open mind, and seeing what people are into.
For sure. I think no matter who you're talking to, I think I like you love people's stories. That's what I want to hear. I started off as a creative writer, and then I moved into writing articles about actual people because I just found that was really more interesting. There's nothing I could make up that's more interesting than your life and what you went through and what you're doing now. Nothing I could make up. So I always like to hear people's stories. So I definitely recommend, and that's he did not ask me to say that before the show. Definitely recommend check it out. The Middleman Podcast. It's really well done.
Thank you. We appreciate it, man. My team and I, we get it done. Shout out my team, Nezo, Zach, and Mike. We get it done. I can't do it without them.
That should be the slogan. The Middleman Podcast. We get it done.
Get it done.
So Steeze, you have an interesting role because you are more on the production side of music.
Yep.
So what drew you to that? What made you want to get into that side of music? Because I think a lot of people seem to be so interested in being in the spotlight that there's a lot of people who are like, I don't know if I want to be behind the scenes. You know? So, but it seems like that's really what you want to do.
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I was always the nonchalant, like, you don't need to help me, I can do it myself, like, nothing's ever wrong with me, it's just, like, I'm here doing my thing, and I'm good, you don't gotta bother me, I don't need catering, whatever. So I was always, like, the person, like, I didn't need the attention to feel, like, special or wanted or whatever the case was. I didn't need the attention, so it's, like, at a young age, I always was self-efficient and always worked hard for what I wanted and put quality work behind what I did, or at least try my best to put the most quality as I could. You know what I mean? So when I was younger, like I was saying, like I got into music at an early age. I was producing, making little beats since I was like 10, but like took it seriously around like when I was like 13, 14, took it seriously. And ever since then, like when I started creating recording beats and recording vocals for artists in high school, when I started high school, that's kind of when I knew, like, okay, like, I'm good at making beats and I'm good at engineering. So I could produce and engineer, I can learn how to get better at this and make this something that I do because I truly like it and I truly want to do it. And rounding back to the nonchalant part, like, I just never wanted to be the spotlight. That's the end of the story. I never wanted to be the spotlight. I knew my time would come from making others' work shine. And I knew that I'm a smart enough person that if I see flaws in people's work, that I could get that fixed and produce exactly what they want to hear, what they want to sound like, whatever. So I knew that would carry myself to a standard on its own instead of trying to produce my own work. Like you were saying, you'd rather write about people. I'd rather record people instead of record myself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, even though I could make up or make the same sounds or beats that other people do, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case is, I know that my best fit is fixing. I need to fix things and make people give what they want. You know what I mean? That's just, I feel like that's what I do. So never really leaned too far on the spotlight, just wanted to be the person that got it done right.
Yeah, so you have the ear for it.
Yeah, that's at a young age, that's what I kind of picked up on, was like, this is right, that's wrong, don't tell me anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But no, definitely, yeah. I never really wanted the spotlight, just wanted to make music, and this is my way of making music, and it's kind of creating its own path, which I'm glad for. And now from my bedroom to Encore, shout out to Dan and Encore again. We're doing great over there, and it's such a different feeling and different atmosphere itself, just being in a real business, in a real studio, and not just your bedroom in your house or a little rent-away room in an office space that is only a 10 by 10 room. So like, it's a blessing to be where I'm at and able to do what I do at such a young age and still feel special in what I do. You know what I mean? In some sort. So
you've been at Encore for what, like 2 years now, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say like 2.5, going on 3.
So going from that home studio sort of thing to that, you know, what do you feel like you've been able to accomplish since then, you know?
I definitely found out, like, just being in a studio setting, you're obviously gonna get more clients wanting to come through because you're a business at that point. You're not just a person or a name. So it's a business at that point, and the size of the studio and the equipment we have there obviously is a good selling point on why you should come at the same time, is because we have all the main industry standards and up-to-date equipment and everything digital that we need. So everything is up to date and mainstream standards, and the size of the studio is, believe one of the biggest studios in the area.
Yeah.
So I would say
There's
like
a lot of rehearsal space and stuff too.
So I would say for how the business itself looks, it already gives you a bigger client base to reach, on top of having all the equipment that is mainstream and industry standard. Helped me find my quality that I needed to really pinpoint on what genres I need to make sound, like how I need to mix them to make them sound like they're fitting that genre, and just basically making my engineering skills way better than they were from just a bedroom. There was just a big standpoint, like that first year walking into Encore, my client base grew. Like I was saying, my client base grew and my quality grew. And I just did two songs this year with Jazzy G and J5, and they're Jazzy G's like a New York PA rapper, and J5's like one of the number one Billboard drill rapper in New York. So I got 2 songs done with them. So like, just working in a better atmosphere gives you those better options and opportunities to make good work happen and good placements happen. You know what I mean? So. Just for that, I'm thankful. Like I said, thankful for Encore, and not to be in my bedroom making songs and beats in my own bedroom, having random people wanting to hang out in my room. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I'm glad for that, and that's definitely what I feel is just the atmosphere and the business standpoint on it. It makes you look more official, and you grow with that.
Would you say hip hop is like your specialty?
Definitely is where I wanna say I perform best is hip hop, but vocals wise there is no limit for vocals. So for making beats, I would definitely say I prefer hip hop.
Okay.
But for recording vocals, I honestly don't see much comparing to my quality in the area or in the tri-state area, let alone for the price I give it to. So I definitely say vocals are limitless, beats are limitless as well, but you'll probably find something crazy for a rap beat from me,
Basically saying he could do it all.
I can do it all, but I like rap, but vocals, I'm your guy for whatever.
Yeah, you don't hear about music out here without hearing like Steeze, PA. So
yes, the name has definitely come up a few times that I've heard.
I've been here for a while, Scranton raised, so it's hard for me to not get my name out there if I'm trying to do a million different things. You know what I mean? Just trying to be everywhere at the same time. That's the goal, is just kind of know everybody, help everybody do the best I could,
Steeze engineered one of the most viral songs of 2019.
Which one?
Mango Jewel Pod.
Mango Jewel Pod. That's a Scranton. That's
I
a
see
Scranton
that scary
legend
music
right there.
video,
bro.
That's a Scranton legend. Right
that was the craziest video in the world.
For its time, it made sense. It still makes sense, but it made sense for its time, and it was just right in the moment, and it worked out. Like, it was a teenage-based song, and teenagers loved it. And unfortunately, it was about Mango Jewel Pod. You know what I mean?
You gotta think about it. At the time, that was a popular Jewel flavor. Everybody loved Mango Jewel Pods.
Okay.
So KK was like, boom. Mango Jewel Pods.
Shout out KK, he killed that. He was a funny character in high school. Everyone loved him. He was just like he wasn't like the center of attention, but when something happened with him, everyone knew what happened. Everyone knew. And
he's
that
still
was just
alive,
like
guys.
he's still alive, everybody. KK's making his way back. Don't you forget. But yeah, like it was a fun time to be alive, and obviously everyone loves their high school years, and now reminiscing back, like, yeah, it was a great time.
All right, so let's talk to Mr. Freshcobar.
Yes,
That's Sha Freshcobar. That's a fantastic name. We met a little while ago at the open mic.
Yeah.
I got to see you perform a little bit. Yeah. I saw you guys turn that into a little video. I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah, we try. Trying to keep going. Just try to be everywhere. Like he said, be everywhere at once. So
it all starts somewhere.
Right.
And you got to keep doing it. I find that no matter what you're doing, consistency is the most important thing.
You're damn right.
because there's so many people who talk the talk. Oh yeah, I've got a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh great. So you're doing all well. Yeah, I've made 5 episodes in 5 years. Well, that's not a podcast then.
Exactly.
So yeah, you got to keep at it. So let's since we haven't had you on the show before, let's talk about maybe how you got interested in music originally. How did you start making your own music?
Well, I've been since a kid. 50 Cent. That was the first. That was the introduction. 50 Cent and Tony Ayo. But it was really it's crazy because the only thing Tony Ayo really didn't rap. All he did was this. The John Cena thing. John Cena says he got it from Tony Ayo, but it's just crazy that I just like he was like basically the hype man. But then after that it was like a rabbit hole from him to Lil Wayne, and then it just broadened. So now I like a lot of hip hop music, and then that just made me always want to be a rapper from a kid. Even growing up, I didn't really like. In high school, I didn't really say it a lot because it was like I didn't really like the stigma of how people think you just say rapper. It's like okay, everybody thinks like oh, all right. So, but it's like when I wanted to do it, it was like all right, I'm gonna just jump in head first, and whatever they think, they just gonna have to come see what I'm about, and then that, and I always like the clothes. I like to get dressed. So that's where the name comes from. Also with the Freshcobar.
Okay.
It's like fresh, and then the Go Bar. The Kingpin Escobar. But I feel like myself, I'm the flyest that could do it. Cause even when I no money in my pocket, still presentable look. So that's why I got the Baker Immaculate. I got the Baker Immaculate shorts. So that comes all in now. Cause now for like the message of Baker Immaculate is basically just to be a better person every day, just in short terms. The slogan is like short steps, long vision. So everything's for the long haul. And then Baker Immaculate, that's just what we go by. That's what it's a lifestyle brand. So right now we're just doing the music, doing the vlogs, and what we try to do the vlogs. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But,
they're hilarious
right.
though. They're great.
Right. But the clothes is what we're striving in right now. But we're still trying to keep everything. We're gonna keep everything going together because we plan to broaden eventually. Because lifestyle, we just wanna get everybody on that slogan: be a better person every day.
Big Baker.
Big Bacon. Big Bacon.
Now, do any of you guys have a design background, or just kind of the desire to do that?
No, just do what you like. Cause it's really about authenticity. Cause even like you messing up, you trip and fall. With the vlogs, we like nah, keep that in. Cause we want to present as human. Like you want to connect with people. You don't want to just be like look your perfect self. That's why I see the beauty in everything. Like it's how they say it's in the eye of the beholder.
Sure.
That's a true statement. Like whatever one man's trash is really another man's treasure. So
Yes, sir.
So what do you have available that people could look up, could purchase?
So right now we got the hoodies, the sweatsuits. The shirts aren't online, but if you get at me, there are some shirts you could get. So we're gonna for the Atmosfere Festival, we are doing another T-shirt that's gonna be coming out exclusive there, and then we'll be able to put it online.
Okay,
So,
we didn't know that. Now we know.
It's gonna be limited. So, but so if they don't sell out there, yeah, they will be available for everybody to get. So make sure you're there.
Drop the ad. What's your ad?
Oh yeah, the Ritz Theater.
No, what's the ad? The Baker Immaculate ad.
Oh yeah.
Tap in.
Yeah, Big Immaculate. We sponsoring the event too. So, just pop up. We're performing. Got my guys. I'm just happy. I'm excited about this event.
It's dope. It's gonna be dope.
Tell us about the group and how you guys all got together and kind of decided on a vision for what you wanted to do with Baker Immaculate.
Right. So it was really like we just hanging out every day, But you know, when you with your friends all the time, it comes to a point where it's just the long talks of life, because you know, especially at the point of like high school, and it's getting scary. You just don't know what to do, and everybody go their own way. So it was like we all just had talks of what we want to get into, what we want to do. Everybody, we like love the entrepreneurship, the vision that way. But you know, you gotta have the money to do it. So we all kind of like told ourselves like we're gonna try to do this, and if it works out, and once we get we're paid enough to quit a job or whatever we're doing, then we just gonna go full push onto that, and we just working towards it. Me and my guys, we got Fancy, we got Charlie G's, Ja, Guabo Cash Out, the artists. It's like it's gonna be it's like a collective. So we're gonna do a lot of different things, like I said, lifestyle. So eventually we want to do the live stream just like this, and then like the vlogs. We're just planning to expand everything to every aspect, and even come up with some new stuff. Got some stuff in the works. Can't speak about it, but
new stuff.
Love it. Right.
What's the latest music that people can look up? Anything that you've done recently?
So I think the last music video drop was a song called Blessed Up, me, Ja Banks, and that came out probably like February, but we definitely dropping something soon. Got some new stuff coming out. Just been working on that. And definitely a EP called what is it called?
What's it called?
Right. Oh, When Life Gives You Lemons. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. That's going. Me and Guapo Cash Out. We're gonna collab on that.
Top.
Nice.
For sure. That's gonna be fire too. Make sure.
YouTube, where do we find the songs, bro? We find them all on YouTube?
Everywhere.
Yeah. All right.
YouTube. YouTube mostly. Yep, do that. YouTube.
What you want them to search? What are they exactly searching?
Baker
what they
Immaculate,
want?
Blessed Up. You could just search up Baker Immaculate. Everything should pop up.
Yeah, go right to Google
Baker
and type Baker Immaculate.
Ain't nobody named that Baker Immaculate. Just pop up.
Now, Gus, we've had you on a few times, but maybe for those who aren't familiar, tell us a little bit about what you've been up to for the last couple of years.
So for the last couple of years, I moved out here in 2016 when my mom passed away, and that was like when I started taking music really, really serious. And I started off as a hip hop artist, like just straight hip hop, no melodies, no nothing.
He was a rapper.
Yeah, facts.
He was a rapper.
And then after I graduated high school, because like that was my thing in high school. Like if you ask anybody from high school, if there's anybody watching from high school right now, like they could tell you like I was strictly rapping. Like there was never a singing song for me. Then once I graduated high school and I started coming to the NEPA Scene Rising Talent Competition at the time, because that was back in 2018, I started to dabble a little bit more into different things. 2019 it came like full throttle. That's when I met Steeze, actually, because I saw him on somebody's Snapchat, and like it was in his room. The studio was in his room at the time, but I thought it was sick. He had the piano in front of him, the monitor, the lights going. I'm like, I gotta go record there. And that's when I recorded a little mixtape that had a melodic song on it. We went crazy for 2019, still rapping. 2020 came around. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I was all over the place. And then from 2021 onward, I feel like that's when like I found it. Like that's what I like found the genre that I wanted to stick to, that I was doing better at, which was R&B and pop stuff. So I came out more with the melodic stuff. I started doing more love songs, party songs. I'm like a fan of summer, so I try to, when I do an R&B song, I try to emulate summer every time. So there's that. And then I think 2022, I started to dabble with rock stuff because I thought it was cool. And not only did I think I was cool, but living out here for the past 8 years,
You gotta like it.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta like it.
I my background where I grew up in the Bronx. So like I grew up where hip hop originated. So imagine I'm listening to Fat Joe Jay-Z, Nas, and all that other stuff because my cousins is around, so they listen to that type of music. And then my mom, she got cassettes and CDs. So we got Whitney Houston, we got 80s freestyle, we got Spanish music. So I listen to everything. And now, when I started with that rock stuff, I was like, I think this could be a thing, but I'm not too sure. So like I put it away for a little bit, kept on doing the R&B. And then this year I was like, you know what? I was just gonna full send it. So now I've transitioned into like alternative rock, pop punk stuff with like a dash of metal in there too, because I have an unreleased song that has like a little metal feel to it. And I only did that because of how the hip hop scene is around here. Everybody talks about how supportive the bands are with each other, and it's true. Like everybody supports each other. Everybody's band is going to see each other. But when it comes to hip hop, R&B, and stuff like that, you don't see that many people intrigued to go, unless it's Atmosfere Music Festival, of course. Because now
The one and only.
we're bringing that to people's attention more than it's already been. Because for the past couple years that I've been out here, there have been artists who are busting their ass, and there should be no reason why they have to go to other cities to get what they're looking for in their home base. Because we're like a business. So where we're starting from is the home base where we live, based out of Scranton, based out of wherever. That's our target audience at the moment. And if we're not getting that here, I'm gonna go to Philly. I'm gonna go to New Jersey. I'm gonna go to Atlanta because that's where we're gonna find it. Yeah. And that's where it all comes full circle, because now, like I said, I've leaned away from hip hop. I don't do hip hop anymore because the community is 50-50. Some people support you, some people hate you, and their artists.
And that is
themselves.
something we're going to get into. I want to talk about that.
So I feel like this is like a full circle moment for me because I started hip hop. Now I'm like transitioning, doing all these other things, versatility, and now I'm back here at Atmosfere Music Festival doing hip hop. And I feel like I'm contributing in a way to get it out there more because it needs to be. And again, I've said this on every podcast that I've been to when I touch on the subject. There needs to be more unity. Instead of looking at artists and saying, yo, I don't like him because he's young and I think his music sucks because it's not real hip hop. Bro, real hip hop doesn't exist anymore unless you go listen to the things that you used to listen to. Times are changing. It is 2024. We're not in the 80s. We're not in the 90s. Unfortunately, we're not scratching on turntables anymore. And it needs to be accepted. It needs to be accepted because we've grown to accept it. We grew up on it. So we grew up to appreciate it. So why can't this be appreciated when it comes out, when it comes forward to people? Why does it always have to be, oh, this youngin' ain't doing nothing, he sounds like everybody else? So what if I sound like everybody else? You sound like an old person complaining about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So Atmosfere Music Festival, that's going to tell the story of hip-hop, R&B, and we're going to be performing in front of the crowd of people that we've been wanting to perform in front of for as long as we've been doing it. And it's going to be an amazing time. And I can't wait for it.
It's surreal.
Now, with you kind of diving into, with some of your newer stuff, you're diving into alternative and pop punk and stuff like that. Is there a worry that like people who discovered you as a rapper, who are familiar with your other stuff, are going to be like, what is this? What? I don't know if I can get behind that.
So I was actually talking on the phone with Keven earlier about just exactly that, because I label myself Gus the Savage, multi-genre music artist. So you can find rock from Gus, R&B from Gus, pop from Gus, anything but country, unfortunately. But
not yet, anyway.
You're right.
Yeah, right. What if it's a smash hit?
I'm not making an AI song.
I can't say I
Gus
haven't
country.
thought about it, but not right now. But I feel like if anybody who has discovered me in the past, who has been following the journey, they can appreciate it. And if they don't appreciate it, I don't know what to tell you. Because at the end of the day, when I started making music, I felt like I was making music for other people. So now I'm making music that I want to make. I'm making the music that I love. I'm making music that I would listen to. Something that makes me feel good. Right. I'm not, like, obviously I'm still making music for the consumers, but it comes with more emotion from within. It's more me. It's more authentic, as opposed to me trying to follow a trend. Like, I don't make drill music, and I don't knock people who make drill music, but that's more of a trend type of genre because everybody's following that in New York City, Philly, all the bigger cities. That drill's like predominant rap music, like drill, and now sexy drill.
Because sexy drill, that's going
That's
crazy.
fire.
Hold on, what's sexy drill? Hold on.
It's like sexy soft.
Sexy drill is the
That's better.
implementation of like R&B melodics with drill beats.
Wow.
So like take a song like Cash Cobain when he did that For Sure song. That would be considered like sexy drill in a mixture with like New York. Not
They
New
got
York.
that.
Yeah, that's it.
And that the dun, melodics, you know. But I've been thinking about it, and I feel like I'm gonna have to eventually choose one genre, and that's gonna be the one that I stick with and say, you know what, this is it. Because I may be young right now. I'm only 24, but I'm not getting any younger. And if I keep I might be confusing people right now. Like they'll listen to a song and then they'll hear a rock song that I come out with. Yo, this is not what I heard yesterday. I heard Gus singing R&B, and now he's doing metal vocals. Like, what's this?
Yeah.
So I feel like since I've been diving more into the rock stuff, that's what I'm gonna end up choosing because I love that community, and I've been accepted by that community, and I've also been accepted into the hip hop community. But like I said, it's a lot harder when you're competing with your friends. When you're in the other part of the music scene where it's band related, where everybody's getting along, everybody wants to go to everybody's shows, everybody wants to do shows with each other, as opposed to I don't want to be on a show with that person because I don't like that person. Or I don't want to work with that person because I'm better than that person. I'm thinking about so many different band collabs right now, and they're all for it. I could think of 10 different artists right now that are solo artists that would be hard to work with. And that's a problem. And it shouldn't be. Because that's where it all ties into unity. If you go to a rock show, everybody's in the pit jumping around. I've been to local hip-hop shows where everybody's in the back and the artist has to tell them to come to the front because you're at a show. We didn't come here to see you in the back of the room or in the lobby. We came to see you right in front of us. Yeah. So I feel like I have more fun with rock, and I'm going to just take the dive and say, fuck it, I'm just going to be the rock artist.
Now, is there anything out now people can listen to?
Oh, absolutely. So if you go on every single streaming platform, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, you name it, you can find previous albums that have been produced by Revenue Bangers and Nate Will, as well as Jax has had a hand into it. Dimitri, shout out Dimitri. He's had a hand in some of the work that I've done. Nate Will, I don't know if I mentioned him. He also had a work in a lot of the albums and singles that I've done. So there's that. And then as far as like the rock stuff, I have a song out right now called What's Left of Me. You can find that everywhere. And July 19th, the day before Atmosfere Music Festival, I have an alternative rock mixture with rap that features an artist that goes by the name of Methodonics. And he's the one who's bringing in the rap vibe for that song.
Good old Methodonics.
Yeah, shout out to Methodonics. Yeah, we just started like doing something together too. Him, myself, Keven, and Steeze. I just started up this clothing brand because Baker Immaculate inspired me, and Heavenly Smiles, another clothing brand in the area, inspired me. I felt like that's a good niche to get into. It's a way to get us out there too, because Kev's the man in the middle. He's got the Middleman Podcast. Steve's PA, the producer. Gus the Savage, the artist. And it's clothes. It's called Vogue Envy. And I'll give an example. You like Star Wars, right?
Sure.
If you go somewhere and you see a fire Star Wars shirt, you're going to want it, right?
Absolutely.
That's what Vogue Envy is. Like, we want to bring people style that anybody's going to see and be like, yo, where'd you get that? Like, I need to have that.
So you guys, as we've discussed, have all kind of unique qualifications, backgrounds. What are you all bringing to this event, to Atmosfere, to make it what it is?
You started.
Oh, I'm just bringing?
What are you bringing?
Personally?
What are you bringing to the show?
Well,
What energy are you bringing to the show?
Oh, my energy, I'm turned up. Like, listen, we here, we trying to put on the show, trying to have a good time. We just trying to bring the people outside, you know, ever since COVID, you know, been inside and people got used to it. And then there's also, like, in this area, there's not anything for, like, us
fun.
to just
There's no fun.
Yeah,
you know?
So
Other than drinking.
Yeah, you could drink.
right. You
Not
know.
everybody
Oh,
alcoholics.
we
though, you know what I
Northeast
mean?
PA did that long before COVID.
Yeah.
Just use COVID as an excuse.
Yeah, but well, I'm personally bringing. I'm gonna have it's gonna be the drip, the clothes, and then we're gonna tear down the stage. Me and the Baker guys, and then you know my boy Gus gonna go, and all the other artists that's there. And, you know, we're just gonna, you know, what you gonna do, guys? Tell them what we're gonna do.
You already know, the one and only Steeze PA.
What
Nah,
do,
but
Steeze?
you know, I started a show, or I had a show at the Keystone Stage. When was that? Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Project Scranton, 2021.
Project Scranton.
That was fun.
2021, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a show that was cool, and ever since then, like everyone's like, "Oh, Steeze, where's the next show? Where's the next show?" I had a little like an event at the Ritz 2 years ago, and it was an artist showcase event that I was a part of, and so that was one thing, but that wasn't like the local show, like, you know what I mean? I didn't get the locals in on it. It was just kind of like everyone and anyone. But so now it's like, 3 years now after my first show, where's the next one? Where's the next one? And thankfully I got contacted by Keven and 570 Exotics. And they brought the idea to me, like, hey, we got a couple people like interested in putting an event together. How do you feel about this? And I was like, you know, it's been a long time coming. I'm ready for it. So it's like, now it's just, everyone's been waiting for another show for me, and here we are. I got a great team behind me, and we're all putting in all this work that we can never even like imagine was going to come out of this event.
Yeah.
But now we're all have crazy headaches and sleepless nights and a couple little low pockets, but you know, we're making the event happen, and it's all for the local fan base, and get everyone together one show at a time, you know, bring everyone together eventually.
Yeah, I'm bringing an energy. I am the MC of the night. You know, I am the speaker of the group. You know,
Okay.
They call me Uncle Kev, because I'm a little bit older than them, so I got the Uncle Kev part of that. You know, a goal of mine since I started this podcast journey was to I always foresaw the Middleman Podcast presents, you know, and it was like a music festival or something, a festival of some sorts, because I always, you know, I've never had to speak to so many people. I've never had to pull so many names out of my hat from this journey of podcasting. But with that, you know, rapport, I was able to pull so many names, whether it be vendors or artists, you know, photographers, videographers, whatever. You know, I was able to use my background to my benefit and put this show together, you know. But nonetheless, it's not the Middleman Podcast presents. It is a collective. It is a group of people putting it together, you know. So I'm gonna bring the energy. I am the speaker of the group, you know. I just try to like think very logically when it comes to things, and I like to bring people together. That is my thing. I bring people together, whether it be in my family or just, you know, events. I bring people together. I had a first Friday show for episode 100 at Analog Culture, and we did a live podcast. We didn't, you know, it was live at the moment, but it was like post-production. We just cut and chopped it up, things of that nature. But we had 50 people in a room, and I'm sitting there speaking to guest after guest after guest after guest, like Mortal Kombat, the Gauntlet. Okay? Like that's what it felt like. I'm sweating bullets, but there's a crowd, and then after we had a show. We had 3 performers: Charlie Roy, Methodonics, and The Fame, and it was a success. You know, it was so much fun, and I didn't think that this would be happening as soon as it's happening. You know, and Steeze had mentioned like we put in a lot of work, and I know it's funny because 3 months ago this kind of like started the planning. Started for this, and I remember saying like, "Oh, we got time, you know, like we'll be able to button everything up," and you know, we had pay schedule, countless meetings with everyone, and yeah, here we are, like 2 weeks later, you know, or 2 weeks total, and less than 2 weeks. All right, we get the point. But nonetheless, it's like it's surreal, it's mind-boggling, and you know, one day I just went outside and I dropped an F-bomb because I was like, we're doing this, you know, and
gotta let it out.
I'm gonna be the first one on there, you know. I'm gonna set the tone for the show and for the stage, and you know, I'm just glad to be a part of it because honestly, Drew had came to me because he knew of my aspirations to have a festival. And he's like, I don't know who else to contact but you. And, you know, there we go. You know, here we are, contact. And I'm the spokesman. You know, I'm a spokesperson, and that's what it is. You know, so I'm just glad to be bringing people together. And this isn't my hometown, but you know, community here. You know, they talked about the rap scene, you know, and things of that nature. I've interviewed countless artists who are in that same rap scene, and sometimes they have the same thing to say about, you know, the lack of support. Others may say different things, you know, more positive things. And I think this is what it's all about, bringing everyone together. And I tell these artists, I told them, I said, I asked them how they're all feeling, and, you know, how did they feel for the show and what I envisioned. And I envisioned all of us within a circle before the show starts. And, you know, we're going to hype each other up. And no matter what happens, like, we got each other. Everyone else is just outside. Like, these 14 individuals who are putting on the show, who are going to be on the stage, 20 plus or minus, you know, like, this is who matters right now, and we're going to get it done, you know? So I'm just so glad to be a part of it, and crazy that it's happening so soon, you know? So this is a goal of mine, and we're achieving it, you know, in real time. So that's what I bring to the show.
Sure. What I'm bringing to the show is a lot of things that people can see on a weekly basis. I'm not just coming to perform, I'm coming to entertain. I have a background with the Ritz Theater, actually. Back in 2018, it was 2018, before I graduated high school, they had this thing there called the ESTAs for local school musical plays or whatever. And I got nominated for an award, and I didn't win the award. And that was the first award I got nominated for, and I was so devastated. But it was at the Ritz Theater. It was at the Ritz Theater, and I looked at that stage for the first time, and I told the person sitting next to me, I was like, one day, I'm going to perform on that stage. And the first time I was able to grace that stage was January 18th for the NEPA Scene open mic that you got a chance to host there. And the energy there was phenomenal. And then shortly after that, Mr. Keven here, he hit me up and said, yo, I'm organizing this festival. It's not set in stone yet, but we're going to try to make it happen for July. There wasn't even a name for it at the time. Like, I was tossing them names, and then it became Atmosfere. And then when it became Atmosfere, it became 14 artists performing at Atmosfere. And then when it came 14 artists, it became sponsors, became food trucks. And now it's becoming exactly what it's supposed to be. This is Scranton's version of Rolling Loud. And what I'm coming to do is exactly what I was born to do. Be in front of people, sing to them. I got 2 covers that I'm doing, and the rest of my set is original. I'm just coming to bring a good time and take people on a trip to the Atmosphere.
They're going to be stuck up there by the end of the night.
That's right.
Be stuck.
Now, you know, one of the things I noticed right away is you guys are billing this as, you know, really the first hip-hop festival in northeastern Pennsylvania. And then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I can't think of any other people who've done this before, which then leads me to go, why do you think it took this long for a hip-hop festival, a show like this, to finally happen?
I feel like I can answer that. I feel like it's because the area focuses a lot more on rock music.
But that's the area, bro. That's not the entire, the tri-state area.
Yeah, like if you really think about it, everywhere is rock.
Yeah.
And then you have like the clubs that do the hip hop stuff. So it's not like a venue like the Ritz is, you know, we're getting the opportunity to do it. But like, let's say FM Kirby Center, I don't know if they host any rappers up there at all.
True.
Or any
Right.
HMAC, they host, I believe, some rappers, but like never a festival.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're able to organize this and bring it to a venue at the Ritz, which is literally one of the biggest venues in downtown Scranton.
Center Scranton.
Now we right in the middle, we're downtown, so we have the platform and we're bringing the people, and they're gonna be there. So this is something that is gonna be talked about for years. And next year's Atmosfere Festival is gonna be even bigger than this one.
We're hoping that this festival goes so great that the Ritz Theater can't even host us next year. That is like
That's
that
the
is
goal.
the goal.
That's
You know,
the goal.
that
Max it out.
we can't like, it's like, all right, we need a bigger space next year. To add to what Gus said, I also believe that it could have to do with the right people, you know, like you can speak about it, but you know, very little people take action. And you know, like the people who are a part of the investment group and putting it all together, like they're taking action. A majority of them, like every single one of them, you know, if it weren't for them, because we had to initially bet on ourselves to make this happen, you know, like with the help of our sponsors and everything in that nature, we were able to, you know, accommodate for things that we couldn't accommodate for our own, you know, like such as dollar signs, you know, like
for sure.
But it was a risk, and you know, we were the right people. You know, we feel like we got the right people in our circle to make this happen and to make this a reoccurring thing year after year after year. You know, so it's local right now, you know, but we're gonna bring it. We're gonna have a fantastic show, and hopefully, just people from all walks of life just want to like pop in the show and do it. You know, like and not to mention, people now, you know, seeing that how real it is, like we're getting late asked to come on the show, and it's like, sorry guys, like we have our people who are already committed, you know, so well, maybe next year, you know, and that's usually how it goes, you know. So grateful for the artists for taking a risk and a gamble to trust in us to make this show happen and put it on the scale that we are anticipating, you know. So that's what it is.
My brother coming in from Minnesota for this.
Minnesota.
Wow.
That's right. This is the first show in the history of my career that I feel like a real show. Other than Scranton, Project Scranton, because I had my nephew and my cousin in there, but my cousin's gonna be there, my niece is gonna be there, my brother's gonna be there. Everybody's popping out. Like VIP and VIP Plus is sold out. So the only tickets left are physical tickets and online tickets for the pit and general admission. These are only $20, so you can get them from me. I have 4 left. You can get them from Keven. He's got some left here.
Anybody on the flyer. Anybody on the flyer has the $20 tickets. If you don't want to spend the extra fees online, you know, come get these $20 tickets. Bring some friends, and you know, maybe there'll be a little price budge for you know, some multiple sales on one purchase.
You might be able to win something.
Ooh,
just saying.
We do have a giveaway coming soon.
Because they're supporting us directly. You know, like, for sure. Let's get back, you know?
You know, we do got a giveaway coming, so stay tuned. Everybody stay tuned and be ready.
It's important for this event to be happening.
It is. It's been, like you said, why did it take so long?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, since I was a kid, since I can remember being a kid, I can't remember a rap show around here unless you went to Philly, Pittsburgh, Newark, or New York City.
Right.
Yeah, after that, like, there wasn't really much in Stroudsburg coming up until like the last 10 years. Like Stroudsburg area, Pocono Mountain area, that kind of just picked up for like catering and venues. Just these last 10 years, I haven't like really seen much before that. So it's like everything is just picking up now, and we were at a young age that we wanted to do it but couldn't, and now we're at an age that we could do it. We just have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard like to judge it, but it is a weird generation of time. We're like the last kids that probably actually seen like old technology and have new technology.
Yep.
So we know the difference between the older people and the young kids. We know what they like and dislike. So it's like we were kind of just that generation of kids that could make it happen, and this is what's happening.
I was gonna say is like, I feel like the cities he said, New York and Philly, those are like the big places where they know there's definitely gonna be people there. So I feel like now with technology, you can see who's in these areas to bring them out, and then like we're gonna make it happen.
We can make this place something.
Right.
It's not just Electric City anymore. We'll make it the Atmosfere City.
For sure.
Social media is a very powerful thing. Like right now, we have people watching us, commenting, reacting to us. So what we're all basically gonna do is put on one of the craziest things to ever touch Scranton. There's gonna be so many cameras, so many posts, so many
memories,
so
many timeless songs getting played.
Right.
Great
Everything.
food.
Great food.
Oh, great food.
Get that. Get the big backs out, everybody.
Hey,
You know,
sure.
eating.
NEPA Scene will be in the building as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Covering the event.
The one and only.
This, like I said earlier, this is important for this to happen, and there are a lot of people that are appreciative of it, and of course, there's the group of people that are upset because A, they didn't make the bill, or B, we're young and we don't sound like what they listen to, and that's okay because I made an album called It's Okay, You Don't Have to Understand. You don't have to understand, but what you have to do is respect the hustle that these young men are putting on this show, and the fact that they did it in 3 months. Joe Caviston, you could take advice from him. Like, he is ready to pull his hair out by the time the Steamtown Music Awards is over, and that's just the one night of it. He's got the whole Electric City Music Conference, and that in itself takes mad long to plan. So the fact that you guys got it done in 3 months, pat yourselves on the back and more.
Like I said, I'm ready for a 12-hour nap any time of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready for it.
And I hope that this would set an example maybe to other venues that they should take a chance on more hip-hop shows and things like that, because I feel like there is an extreme lack of that stuff at your your standard regular music venues around here. They all kind of stick to the same stuff. I mean, it's hard enough for new rock bands to get in because like the ones who are the standard bearers of they all kind of get booked at the same places, and they all just kind of rotate around, and you just kind of see the same lineups at a lot of the same places around here, and that's tough enough. But then I'm like, genre wise, it's like I'm looking at your schedule for months. It's the exact same thing over and over and over again. Or it's not only the same bands, but it's the same genres. Yeah. And they're playing, if they're cover bands, they're all playing the same 200 songs basically on rotation, on and off, you know? So like, where are the hip hop shows? Where can people go and support local hip hop in the area? Are there any places that are doing it, or any shows that you're aware of? Any venues?
He's on stage.
Well, hold on, real quick. I want to talk on the venue aspect that you were speaking on. Okay?
Yes.
Shout out to Ritz Theater, okay? Because like when we first initially brought this idea to Josh, okay, I could tell he was a bit skeptical, you know, because it's just some kids, you know, showing up, right?
He could have said, "Get out of here,"
and
you know,
it's not, as you said, you know, a lot of venues don't entertain this type of entertainment. So they, Josh, you know, we talked to him, and after, you know, emailing back and forth, we talked numbers, things of that nature. When it was all said and done, signed, sealed, delivered, you could tell the excitement within, you know, Josh and James Oleski, because, you know, they were ecstatic. They were like, we've never done anything like this before, you know, never put on a festival like this at this theater, and they're excited, you know, so to see that at the end of it, when it was all signed, sealed, and delivered, was like it was rejuvenating for us. Like, it was like a breath of fresh air. So, you know, big shout out to them for like allowing us to do this. And you know, it definitely took a little bit of convincing, but you know, once we showed them that we're legit and we're not just talking bullcrap, like we're here to do it, you know. So I'm really appreciative for them, and they've been, you know, communicating with us to the show, and they got their people there allowing us to use all their speakers, lights, things of that nature, you know. So big ups to the Ritz Theater for taking that risk, and you're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret it. I guarantee that. Now, back to the question about the rap stages. Yes, the Keystone stage.
Like once a month, Decipher and Roseanne Records, they host a hip hop night.
We had them on the show a month or two ago, and they talked about that.
And I won't lie to you,
the
like,
two Roseanne artists will be performing at the show as well.
Yeah, they will be there. And I can't lie to you, like, we've had the venues, but the venues never like really did anything with it until it was too late. Like, there was a venue in Wilkes-Barre, Alibaba's also. And he went to Encore, and then all of a sudden it shut down. They had national artists going in there, like Pop Smoke was in there, A Boogie was in there, Dusty Lil Kane was in there, and they would have some local rappers open up. And then once that died out, because that was the only one, there was nothing else.
Sure.
No. And there hasn't ever been, like, I don't know, I think Hazleton has a scene too, but it's not talked about. Like, this is like a word of mouth scene, as opposed to the band scene. Everybody knows about it.
Sure.
Everybody knows about it. There are people ready to die for it. Okay. Seriously, there's people ready to, like,
Motionless in White, baby.
I'm telling you. And yo, when they played WrestleMania, I popped. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, our group of individuals, there's a lot of them in this area. so many. I could list 10 of them off the top of my head, but I won't because we got to keep the ball rolling. It's a word of mouth thing. It's have you heard of him? Mm-hmm. Have you heard of him? Have you gone to see them play? There's nowhere for them to play other than an open mic. Sure. You provide us the platform. Mm-hmm. You give us the opportunity because your open mic is open to every genre and
Round
anything.
of applause for Rich real quick. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause for Rich real quick.
He's the reason why
you're killing it, man.
Like, he's the reason why I get to sit on this couch today, because if it wasn't for my friend Cody actually telling me, yo, there's an open mic at the V Spot, I wouldn't have gone in there until I was of age.
Yeah, you know literally. You'd be scared to go in there.
The Keystone stage also gives us the platform too, because it highlights all acts of all walks of life. And those are the two open mics. Right now, today, at Voodoo, there's an open mic, and I've gone in there with my multiple genres, and people seem to love it. I feel like more open mics are necessary, and more artists should be open to going to open mics, because there are artists who see an open mic, and they're like, it's not 100 people. It doesn't matter. I've gone to the NEPA Scene open mic when there was literally 5 people at the bar, and I still performed because those 5 people made it seem like there was 50 people in there. And you never know who's going to be in the crowd at one of these open mics. A label exec might just say one day, you know what, let me pop into one of these open mics and see what's going on. And then boom, you stood out to that person, and now they're talking to you. Sure. Like, it's all a networking opportunity. I've met so many different bands, so many different artists of different genres doing things like this, that it's given me opportunities to do shows. Unfortunately, Stage West is closed now. It's not there anymore. It's Chief of Peru.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But they used to do
big venue out
hip hop shows too, like once a year. Yeah. And at some point they had like back to back. I opened for the Cottonmouth Kings and Mac Lethal, and those are rap artists. Cottonmouth Kings, they're fucking huge. Mac Lethal, YouTube artist. I think, I don't know if he signed to anybody, but I know I found him on YouTube when I was a kid, and opening for him at Stage West was crazy because there were a lot of people there. Yeah. So we had it, and then we lost it, and then it just died out. And like I said, now it's like a word of mouth kind of thing. So Atmosfere is bringing it back to life. Like, we are making the community whole again. We're hoping that this is going to unify a lot more people to, like, you know, think really like, should I really have a problem with what's going on, or should I just join this movement so we could be bigger and be known for something other than The Office?
But for real, like at the end of the day though, like I was saying earlier, I was like, everyone wishes they can go back in time and relive their, you know, their fun times in life or whatever, having fun as a kid. And like, you know, what speaks high school other than music, food, and alcohol and friends? You know what I mean? And that's you know, that's what we're bringing: music, food, alcohol, and friends and memories. So it's like, why not come out and enjoy yourself and remake more memories, basically.
Alcohol 21 plus, by the way.
Yeah, 21 plus.
Under 21.
And it's like, you're paying, you know, BYOB. This is real deal,
this
sealed.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
don't try to sneak bottles in through your like stomach or like whatever. Just be ready to buy your alcohol there.
I do think too, it's you know, speaking on the subject, I think that it's there's a local media bias as well, where they just don't talk about hip hop, and when they do, it's not in a great light. Like Alibaba, for example, anything that I had ever seen in local media about them, WNEP, Scranton Times, Citizens Voice, anything like that, it was always something negative. Right. It was always something questionable. Well, what is you know, why are they bringing these artists in here, and how many people can they fit in that place? What's the, you know, you don't question the place down the street.
Yeah.
That just books rock acts, and maybe they have, you know, they're a little over capacity, and they have too many people. But nobody says anything about that. No. But you know, there's definitely a bias there. There's an old school mentality. There's a, what's this? I don't know. That's not us. That's not Northeast PA. It is now, and it has been for the last 30 years. Hate it for too long. Exactly. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah, I think it's about time that this stuff gets highlighted. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. I think it's really great.
Appreciate you for having us to discuss it in the first place. That's one, you can't get it out there unless people want to talk about it. And
Right. And I think too that it's very easy as a media outlet to fall into that trap as well, where it's just like, well, I'm just going to talk about my friends. I'm going to talk about the people that I know, and I'm not going to branch out of that. If I was, I grew up on metal and punk music, but if I only covered metal and punk music, how could I call myself NEPA Scene?
Yeah.
That's a small fraction of everything that's going on around here.
There's
and
a lot
all the
that
different
goes on.
genres.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people degrade Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And there's a lot of backboning to this country from Pennsylvania. And if Pennsylvania wasn't as, I wouldn't say self-efficient, but as filled with people that actually have talents and career choices and career paths that they can succeed in, then I don't know where people don't see it, because a lot of people do come from Pennsylvania that do big things in this country. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like
Yeah, exactly, right?
Pennsylvania is a very, very well-known place. It's just people decide to forget about it after a year until someone else comes up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'll put it like this. If Motionless in White, a band from legitimate Scranton, Pennsylvania, can play at WrestleMania, Atmosfere Music Festival will eventually fill up football stadiums.
Yeah, no, it won't be a problem. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. That's the goal, is to be able to just say, hey, like, we can provide a platform for our local people, but also give them a platform that they can branch out into a bigger mainstream audience. This first event, we might not have something too good other than exposure to give everybody performing, but we're trying to create exposure in the city that gives us support to throw another show. And when we throw another show and we know it's thriving, we can bring in a mainstream artist that will get you known for being there. You know what I mean? Opening for that artist. So, eventually over time, we don't want to cut the locals out, but we do want to expand Atmosfere into something that, we can go coast to coast and you'll know the name.
Right.
That'd be insane.
Well, speaking on Motionless in White too, I think what's interesting about their story that I don't really hear a lot is that, I was there through the whole, I remember them, growing up and all that kind of stuff too. But they were a big thing to a very certain crowd, and they put in a lot of time as a band that was mocked and ridiculed, and these guys, and they wear makeup and and their goth stuff, and that's so silly, let's make fun of them, like the South Park episode that makes fun of goth kids, like that kind of crap. And they took a lot of shit from this area for a long time before they really blew up and became where they are now. And they put in years and years of work. We're talking decades of work to get to where they are now, to the point where they now come back to their hometown area, and then they're doing the Pavilion at Montage Mountain. This year they're doing Mohegan Sun Arena, and they open it up to a second night because the first night sold out. So my question is, whenever I see something like that, where the fuck were all of you people before this?
Like, how did
Where were all your followers? Where were all these people? Now, I'm sorry, but all of you guys weren't fans before that. Because if you were, they would have blown up many years before that.
A decade ago.
Montage has been there. The arena's been there.
Right.
They haven't been big enough though to play there until now, which means they had to have success outside the area.
That's how,
and be validated
how it is.
by other people outside the area before this area would say, okay, guys, all right, you win, you're good. You're a good band. We've accepted you now. Now you can come here and now you can play for us, and now we'll enjoy you. And it's like that really bugs me, because even the bands that like grew up with them, I knew a lot of guys who were like behind the scenes. These guys, terrible. I would never play a show with them. Now they'd kill to play a show with them. They'd kill me playing that arena show this year.
When I found out about Motionless in White, I immediately loved them as soon as I found out that they came from here. And now more than ever, because they play one of my favorite female wrestlers' theme songs.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, I love that. So and that's a story too. Like I could relate to it. I had a billboard and a headline show in New Jersey. I've never gotten that here, and I've lived here for nearly a decade. And I've been doing music out here since 2016, but I started way back when. So that I've never had that here. So the fact that I had to go somewhere else, the venue reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to host your album release party at our venue. We want you to headline. You're gonna get a billboard." Shout out to Factory Records for doing that in Dover, New Jersey. That more of that needs to happen around here. A lot more needs to be highlighted. But in order to get it highlighted, a lot of these artists who are so self-centered and selfish about being in front of 100 people because they feel like they're the shit need to start coming out to open mics and stop, like, put their pride in their back pocket and perform in front of the locals at the bar so they can know who you are. Because I've turned people on to my music that wouldn't even bat an eye to listen to it, like, regularly. I've had people come up to me and say, "This is not my style of music, but you make it tolerable. You make it my style of music." So, like, you know what I'm saying?
Same. GTS, the hometown hero, bro. Like you can't come to Scranton and not like have to like love. Like you have to love Gus. Like you gotta come to Scranton and love Gus.
I'm sure that
There's no way. Like there's no mean bone in his body. You know what I mean? Like just Gus. He makes everyone happy, smile, and gives you some good music.
There's a lot of mean bones in my body. Don't let it fool you.
No,
I'm not
there's not a mean.
You're
bone
not as hard
in
as
his
you once
body.
were, bro. You soft.
He's washed up.
why-
You're
Don't listen to
softer than
him.
three-ply tissue paper, bro.
You're not the only niggas that say that. So
Oh, hey.
Whoa.
it's okay. But I can say that word.
All right.
But anyways,
Oh, we had a whole argument about that at the open mic a
I don't
couple
give a
weeks
fuck.
ago.
Whoever argued
We had a
with you,
comedian who
Listen.
said it, but he's a person of color.
That's what I'm saying.
And then another person of color started a fight with him about whether or not he could say it or
Wow.
not. And I'm like, that's interesting.
They see somebody light skinned, they're like, "You're
Someone
not
might-
black enough." Like what?
Oh, it made no sense.
yeah, someone
That was
right.
that was almost kind of the impression that I got from it. I was like,
like-
that's weird.
Yeah,
I'm not going there.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the word. Like people get it misconstrued. Like the word that how we use it, we don't use it to describe like anybody of color. We use it to describe our people. Like, yo, this is my homie right here, so I call him. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'll call you. Know what I'm saying?
Not me, you know what I mean?
As opposed to the ER, they're not even using it right anyway because it doesn't even mean black person. That word means ignorant person. So the person using it is more of that than they're trying to call somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? Like they don't even know what they're talking about. They just took a word and said, "That's what we're gonna call black people," without even realizing that they're being ignorant themselves. So I feel like people in that word, like if it's the ER, I understand. But if I'm saying it the same way I would say it when I sing a song, bro, get out my face with that. I can't say that word shit. Like, do I look white to you? Maybe if I was Caucasian, I wouldn't be able to say the word. But that's another thing too. I know some white people that say it, and I
Yeah,
just
it's
got
all
a problem.
different. I feel like it's where you grew up at.
Yeah,
Basically.
all about where you was raised.
I mean, everything that we do is uncensored. The podcast is uncensored. The open mic is uncensored.
Oh, it is?
If an artist gets up there on the stage, I protect their freedom of speech.
Right.
You know, if somebody in the audience, you know, in the almost 10 years that we've been doing it, I've never once pulled anybody off stage or stopped their set or said no or whatever. Because if they're doing something that people don't like, they'll either get ignored, which is the worst thing as a performer. They don't like that.
Yo,
Or you know they'll you know realize it's not hitting and they'll get off stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to be the one to do that. But I think it's so important to have a place that is on the artist side and not every person who walks in the door that wants to act like a Karen that day.
yeah.
and say,
ruining the day.
oh, you know, I don't like this, and then you know the owner's, oh my God, yes, please, we want to make sure that you come back, so get this person off the stage. And I've worked with a lot of venues like that, where you know that's why we're at the V Spot, you know, because Vinny's
Vinny's a great dude.
Vinny's a great dude.
Vinny's like my dad, yo. Anytime
Yep.
he sees me, he's like, "Gus, beautiful hair, big fan."
Yeah,
I love him.
He's so like we've
Great
had
guy.
a few run-ins and he's always like, "Hey man, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it." I'm like,
He's a great guy.
Such
Good
a
soul.
genuine dude,
Great
man.
soul.
Yep.
Bless the V Spot, great food.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
D's at the V. Shout out D's at the V.
Yeah.
Peanut butter sauce inspired by Gus Savage.
Inspired by Gus.
PB&J, I'm telling you, As Dan.
So speaking of the crowd, I guess we should address some of the comments here.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see.
Charlie Bravo is killing it right now.
That's my boy. That's my boy. That's Cody.
My boy Corey's in here, Mr. Tejada.
Yeah, I was wondering, how did that man know I'm from New York? But then I mentioned it in the podcast earlier.
All right, so let's see. We've got. I'll scroll up to a little earlier, and we'll address some of these.
We killing it.
There's a couple funny ones.
We got
to talk about. There's a couple debatable ones. Let's see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got George Palamides, GTS flexing his big ass balls.
Right. Man spreading out here.
Bro, what you expect, bro? I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican.
Guy out there, bro.
Hey, you want to find out? Just ask my baby mom.
God about that.
Well, yeah, Chris Jones said, "How did Kevin get so hot once he was on a casting couch?"
Good old Chris Jones.
Couch.
We just had a podcast. He's hilarious, man. We had a good time.
He gonna have his own Netflix special. Mark my words. I said that today.
So once he was on his casting couch.
Yeah, Charlie Bravo. Everyone is a hater in the Scranton hip hop scene. There's definitely a lot of them. I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's not like you said. It's not as united as it should be.
It'd be grown men in their 40s.
No, that's true. Because it's like even like the top of the top dogs. You know. So it's like even like how the label deals and how a lot of artists come back around and just say they got fucked up their contract and they just nobody told them or not the right lawyers, so they don't even have like a union to even spread the info or not let that happen or have stay in front of alright, no, we doing this to that just because like even like last year, what was it, the 50th year of hip hop, even with that a lot of places like they just misrepresented it or it's just not a unity how it's supposed to be. Yeah,
everyone, even the whole world isn't connected on it. There's no school for the music business or entertainment business. It's just you gotta learn your way as you pave it. You know what I mean?
Like that's what hip hop was made essentially, to bring people together. Like it was in the Bronx. You feel me? So like everybody over there in that apartment building was going crazy. So take that in the 70s, give it the 80s, give it the 90s. It was gangster rap, hood rap, you know what I'm saying? For the streets, everybody was talking about that. And that's where everybody's getting it misconstrued. Like, that's where everybody feels like, oh, hip-hop is this. When there's more, like, there's subgenres to hip-hop. You know
it evolved so much now.
Like, everybody feels like we're going to come to their venue and, like, everything's gonna be gang related. Everybody wants to shoot shit up.
Everything shoot 'em up, bang bang.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what everyone thinks, bro. Like they be in their own heads about that. Like if you have a controlled crowd, there ain't no problems. If you got people that are gonna like the owners or the promoters and everyone putting it on. Like if you're bringing a rapper or another rapper that don't like each other or their fans aren't the same friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? You already know there's gonna be problems, but if you can control that from the beginning, there is no problems. Like you just set the tone before the event started. You know what I mean? You don't need to have the best of the best night with violence. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be violence.
Right, because even with that, it's like it's all entertainment. Like that don't mean that they're doing it. And even with the crowd that you bring, like you just gotta make sure it's secure, and then like. But I still don't think like it shouldn't happen just because one bad person come and mess it up for everybody.
And I feel like that's always been the problem when it comes to hip hop shows being put on, because the venues always have an issue with the patrons, because the patrons get drunk, don't know how to act. Now everybody's trigger happy. You know what I'm saying?
It's the fans. It's not always the artist.
It's
like,
never the artist.
It's people that just can't control themselves.
Right. Either trigger happy or everybody want to be Mike Tyson in the parking lot.
The ego, bro. It's just straight. Everyone has that ego, but they don't have anything to stand on it. It's just, I'll do this to you because my ego is so high, but I can't tell you any other way how I'm mad and prove to you that I'm better than you. Right. Besides doing something violent. So it's like, that's it. Like, people just, they don't have nothing going for them, so they get violent. That's it.
but you're gonna be safe at Atmosfere Music Festival
For sure.
Sure. You won't have any problem.
Like that was top of the chart right there. Was security. Strict. That's it. We're not no monkey business, bro.
Yeah.
We're not messing around.
It's all about love for the community.
Exactly.
Like, it's all about love for the community and love for music. So like if that's what you want to come see, you want to see some locals and even some people from out of state who were local come down and do what we do. Be there July 20th at the Ritz Theater. This is gonna be something huge. It's gonna go viral for sure. Like
July 20th.
yeah, July 20th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It sounded like you said July 28th.
No, July 20th.
What you got going on July 28th? But yeah, July 20th, the Ritz Theater,
Yeah.
Atmosfere Music Festival. Something you don't want to miss. Something that you won't forget if you make it. So, be there.
And one thing's for sure, shout out to everybody who paved the way throughout the NEPA music scene throughout the years in the 90s and the 2000s that might be upset that we're putting this on. It's not that, you know, we don't think about you or we don't see you. We respect you very much, but it's time for us to have our shine.
Bro, fuck
Sure.
you just hating, bro.
It's our turn. It's our turn.
It's our turn to do it. You know, you guys did it when you were younger. You had your fun. You had your shows with packed houses and shit like that.
Yep.
Now it's time for us to get what we want and what we deserve. We're all fighting for the same thing. I don't think anybody's better than anybody. We all live in the same area. We're all trying to do the same thing, and that's get out of this area and do bigger things and broaden our horizons and then come back and do a hometown show.
Yep.
You know, like Motionless and White has been doing.
Mhm.
And Breaking Benjamin, too. They came from around the area, too.
It's a good band.
Tiger Jaw, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Bro.
Anyone else?
Little Pete, Allentown.
Title fight,
Pete,
Menzingers.
Menzingers. Yo, CM Punk was going to go see the Menzingers before, like, he returned. All right, I'm wrestling. All right.
All right.
All right, we got 231 recording studio. Hey, Landy, he said we should all support each other.
Yes,
We should, Landy. Yes, we should.
Big shout out to Landy. Short little grandma man.
Charlie again says, I feel like as soon as the community gets its well-deserved limelight, vibes will change. That is
As soon as people
a very
stop
good
coming
point.
over here to go see everything I got to do with The Office, even though The Office wasn't even filmed here,
I know.
that would be great.
LA.
That would be
The
great.
biggest.
Like, I think it's
Crazy.
ridiculous, honestly. Like, I personally, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for this. I don't think the show's that great. I've been forced to watch the show.
Get out.
It's kind of funny. I won't lie. Like,
funny
there's
moments.
Some, yeah, there's funny
I
moments.
can't sit there and binge it, but
Right.
it's funny at random times.
But for that to be the most known thing, like as if that was the best thing to ever happen to us,
Right.
that's kind of ridiculous. Like people
Yeah.
are holding on to that. Oh my God, our city was in the show, bro. So has New York City has been in every fucking movie.
do you know how
Like-
many movies there's been random towns and states in? That
Scranton made an
Scranton,
appearance
Pennsylvania isn't.
in
Like,
Home Alone.
we got a
The
TV show.
airport.
There's movies
The airport
about other
scene, yeah.
towns. You know what I mean?
Nah, for real.
But
Vibes will change.
And that's
Yeah.
what Atmosfere is for.
Atmosphere is gonna be that limelight. We're
You
gonna
see
get
that
some
plane?
spotlight on it.
That
Make sure
plane
you pop
is
out.
bringing new people
Everyone
in
pop
to
out.
see something that's never been done before. That's
the
what
meteor
you-
doing.
What?
What's the meteor doing?
The meteor is taking out everything that's in our
Toxic
way,
in the
bro.
way.
Yeah,
Everything in the way, paving the way.
exactly.
The trajectory's off. Don't worry, they won't collide.
No,
Right.
yeah. The plane just has to do a 180 once it goes on.
It's gonna-
Let's see. Holly says, "Go boys! Can't wait for this event."
Oh,
Get
shout out
up,
Mama,
Holly.
Mama Steeze, Mama Steeze.
Mama Steeze.
Yes, sir.
Chris Jones got his ticket for next week. He's excited.
Yep. Shout out Chris Jones. He bought one off of me last night.
It's party time.
Nate Williams, short and sweet, just says cool.
Cool.
Respect Nate.
Nate.
Let's see. Amber
yo,
gives
listen,
some hearts.
I ain't even gonna get
It's
into it, but
Viola.
You know the vibes.
She's always
Nate.
watching.
You know the vibes, Nate. You owe me an email, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm tired of him, bro. I'm tired of him.
It's all good. It's all love.
Corey says it's corrupt PA for you. Absolutely, but you know that's why you got to work to change it.
Mr. Tejada.
There is a lot more corrupt places than PA. So
Nah,
I'm glad
that's
this isn't the most corrupt place. I'm glad to be here, honestly. It's not that bad.
It's honestly an honor and a privilege to be a part of something great like this, you know, and
For real.
the fact that my hard work is being acknowledged and I'm able to do it, you know, like it's a week away and I still can't believe it. Like I was driving in my car earlier and I'm like, yo, Atmosfere is next Saturday.
happening.
Like this
I
is
know,
crazy.
bro. I know.
And
we haven't even had a pizza party yet.
Right. Like, what's wrong with you?
It's crazy.
Are we gonna get those thin slices like in school?
Yo, come about that.
No, I mean the pizza sticks.
Yo. Nah. The oval pizza. The oval pizza. Come on.
I forgot about
The
those
little cheese Johns with
pieces.
the marinara.
Yeah, those are busting.
All right. Now we showing how big our backs are.
Alright, but yeah. What else we got?
A lot of things.
What else we got?
I got an album coming out. Eventually.
Album?
Yeah, do we have a release date for that yet?
So no release date, but plans to release before the Electric City Music Conference. Actually, the album is called Echoes of the Void, and it's gonna be an alternative rock album. And I'm excited to be making it. I'm excited that there are gonna be some local people that have a hand in it, and I'm hoping that it goes well because it's my first full-length alternative rock project. I don't know how it's going to be received, but I feel like when I perform them at the open mic and for the shows that I've done with the rock shows, it's been received well. So I'm hoping to get that crowd of people going, and maybe that'll be full rock right there. You know?
Let's give a credit to our sponsors real quick.
Absolutely.
You know, we got Baker Immaculate, you know, sponsoring the event.
Shout out.
We have Dwell's
Real Estate and Paint by Doria. We're
Chromie.
going to be giving a big giveaway coming soon. So stay tuned for a post in the next couple days from Dwell and Paint by Doria in regards of Atmosfere.
They're giving away a house. No, I'm just
We're giving away a house. Fresh paint.
Encore Studios. We have Chromie Aesthetics. Am I missing anyone? Are we missing anyone? Center City Print. Center City Print, most definitely. I&I, yes. And I feel like there's more on that flyer.
There's a good handful of people.
You know, we got media who's also going to be a part of like sponsors, you know, so we appreciate sponsors like Colo TV, you know, North Star Productions, you know, things of that nature. Food wise, thanks for putting up the flyer. Yep. Food wise, we have Asania's Kitchen, we have Poppy's Kitchen, we also have Artisan's Fire, and I know I'm missing two of them. I know one I have a disclaimer for. D's on Wheels. D's on Wheels and
I
Piston.
just saw them going up the Piston.
And for the love of breakfast, praying and hoping that they will still be able to make it because a lot of people were excited for them. But their truck has had some engine issues.
No, I want to make an egg and cheese, bro.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was phenomenal. But, you know, fingers crossed that they can still make it. You know, I'm in contact with Brian, and, you know, it's just unfortunate timing, but they were super excited to be there, and a lot of people were excited to have that bacon, egg, and cheese because,
bro,
you know.
I'm from the Bronx, bro, so like.
Oh, Da Vinci Pizza, another sponsorship. Da Vinci Pizza, yeah. You know, shout out to them.
Amazing
in the square.
pizza.
I love that pizza.
I love it too.
Don't worry.
I don't think I've ever tried it, but I'm gonna love it.
There's gonna be pies backstage. I'll set that up. Don't worry.
Oh,
yeah.
We got the pie.
That's my guy, Tyler. Shout out Tyler. Da Vinci
big
Pizza.
shout out Tyler.
He's feeding the world.
Yeah, nah, but we definitely need that bacon and cheese, bro. Like, facts.
I'm making one at the house.
All right, man, I'll take it.
So yeah.
All right, so gentlemen, let's hear a big final pitch. What, you know, if I'm somebody sitting here and I'm kind of on the fence and I'm like, well, I don't know who's in the lineup or you know, what is it that's in this show that is really going to get me to go. You know, what's your pitch to convince me? All right, yeah, I definitely gotta give this guy my $20 and make this happen.
I gotta say, it's 2024. The only reason these food vendors are here is because everyone loves to eat.
Right.
If you don't love to eat, there's a problem with you. There is a problem. We got everything.
You could be dying.
Yeah, you could be. We got everything. We got the breakfast food. We got the pizza. We're gonna have the Jamaican jerk chicken and oxtails.
Hispanic.
We're gonna have the Hispanic food. We'll have empanadas and everything. There's gonna be so many, and you know Scranton. Everything and anything lives here. Everything and anything. So why not get everything and anything to the show? Same way for the food, for the artist, for the people putting on the event, for the people coming to the event. And that's basically what we want to do is get everything and anything there and make it something that people could want to go to and keep rounding back every year like, oh, this is that festival that everyone connects together. Everyone has a good time. We all make great memories here. So that's like the main thing of it. You can bring we want to make it something that you can bring all your friends and obviously of age family that is okay with this type of music, but
Sure.
all your friends and of age family. This is a place that you can go relax, enjoy yourself, and kick back and watch music. Sit in a chair and watch the music. Go get in the pit, watch and jam out with everybody. It's like you choose what you want to do. Do you need a VIP booth? Do you need an even bigger VIP booth? Do you want backstage access? Like, these are all things we want to be able to do in the future and have everything lined up that anything people could ask about the event is what we could provide. So we want to have no limitations, longevity wise. But yeah, that's to get to this event. If you don't like food, you got a problem because there's going to be a lot of food, and food you're going to love. The music, it's not just rap, it's not just R&B, it's not just alternative pop, it's not just hip hop, it's not just whatever. It's a mixture of everything. Each artist has their own. Each time or each section of the night will have its own kind of base genre. So if you like one person, the next person might be close to that genre, and so on and so on until we slowly shake things out to the next type of person. But there's going to be so many things that people will want to see and enjoy that, like, there's no way that you're going to miss it. People are going to be there, and you're going to want to be there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Listen.
What's up?
Anything don't bring you out, the food definitely should bring you out.
That's
I done
it.
sold mad
That's it.
tickets off
Food,
of the strength of
drinks.
just saying food.
Good vibes.
Yeah, who doesn't?
And you walk in that place, I'm for sure you're gonna leave out with somebody that you like, with an object, piece of merch.
Yeah, something.
Yo,
You're getting food, you're getting clothing, you're getting a person. Who knows what might happen?
he said you gonna leave there with a shorty.
You know what I mean?
Listen. You
I
never
know what he meant.
It's gonna be good times, good vibes. I mean, that too. I'll talk about some merchandise, because we got all the clothes.
Yeah,
and
talking
all.
out.
So, but yeah, you never know, you might meet. Just a place that brings everybody out. You should be there.
Space.
Yo,
Safe,
You might meet your
Good
wife
time.
at Atmosfere Music Festival and take it to the moon.
We're all the single men at Pop Out.
Hey, single men and ladies, get in the pit tonight.
We're having a what are we doing?
After party.
No, a dating arrangement intermission at the show.
Oh,
No, we're not. No, we're not.
You and you, get up here.
Just great community, a community staple, like come be a part of the first community staple. Like, that is the goal here, to staple the community, to bring everyone together, good vibes, good energies, and just, I know you're not doing anything July 20th. Like, I know it's a Saturday,
5
it's a
p.m.
late night event, we'll be there all night. We're going to be there all day, as a matter of fact, but, it's just something that it's going to be spectacular, and you don't want to miss it. You want to be there. We're not live streaming for a reason, because people are going to talk about it.
Hello.
And you want to be able to say that you were there. You can even wear your shirt on the way out because you bought it at Atmosfere Music.
Hello.
And that's just it.
Stop saying, bro.
So
listen, and with this ticket right here, this is a one-of-one. This is an exclusive. You get this for $20. You get to keep this.
You'll
for the
never
rest
see
of
a
your
ticket
life.
like that again.
No, because next year's is gonna be platinum, like gold
I mean?
or something.
and it's a good quality ticket, not to mention. It's not cheap.
This won't peel, this won't break, this won't bend or rip unless you really want it to.
But if you wash it, it's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it ain't clothing, everybody.
It might just,
We hope to see you there. Atmosfere Music
We
Festival.
want to see you there.
July 20th, 5 p.m. Don't forget it.
Yes, sirski.
Get your bellies ready and be ready to eat.
Be ready to eat.
Music
be ready
all
to
night.
get Ears blasted. Be ready to drink. Get drunk. Let's have some fun. If you
Let's
like
have
Chris
some
Brown,
fun.
if you like Chris Brown, you like my set. That's
You
what I'm
mean?
gonna say.
And if you've never been to the Ritz Theater, it's a theater, guys.
Yeah.
It's so cool when you walk in there for the first time.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
It's
you
real
know?
history. It's real
Right.
history.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's so neat to see. It's literally like a movie when you walk in, and especially as events are going on, even more surreal feeling. And how big it is. It's such a big. It's a big venue for the area. You'd never even think it was a venue in there because of how
How it looks
downtown
like-
looks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
crazy.
they just keep adding to it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
They just did
It's
a
The
ginormous.
awning.
they just did the whole front marquee has
so-
brand new
so
lights and
happy about
stuff,
that.
and
I'm
yeah,
so
it's
Looks
happy.
great.
beautiful. Looks
Yeah.
great. Love it.
And we're gonna be there, guys. July 20th. Show starts at 6. Doors open 5 p.m. Like I said,
Tickets here, tickets online.
Tickets at the door.
Tickets at the door. Pit seating is where we want everybody, but we want everybody everywhere in that venue too. Feel me? Because we've been saying it since we got on this. This is the first ever hip hop event to touch the Ritz Theater, the first hip hop festival to touch Scranton, and it's gonna be one of the biggest things, one of the most talked about things that day and after and the week after. Like, we're gonna be talking about Atmosfere next month into next year, waiting for Atmosfere 2. You feel me? And hopefully I'll be blessed and be a part of that card too and experience part 2 of Atmosfere, because I already know that this one's gonna be huge.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And at this point, this first show, this is really the trendsetter. Like, everyone on that flyer, we're all one big family now. Moving forward, this is one big family. So it's like we can't express enough how excited we are that this is actually happening, and it's awesome that everyone came together and we're all comfortable with each other now, and everyone is they're just ready to get out there and have some fun. Tear up the stage, like he said.
And I'm performing with a lot of familiar faces too. Like, I get to perform with, like, my boy Sha right here. His mom used to take care of my grandma. Like, that's lit. Like, that's how close knit we are. You feel me? This is what unity looks like. This is Keven. I didn't know him from a hole in the wall. I texted him properly on Facebook. I said, "Hey, what can I do to get on an episode of the podcast?" He had already heard about me from the first link up. This is my brother. That's my twin right there. Yeah. Steeze been rocking it since 2019. Like, we've all, the group used to be bigger. Obviously, people disperse, life happens, things happen, and everybody goes their separate ways. But I've been rock solid with Steeze since the day I met him. Rock solid with Keven since the day I met him, and especially him too, because that's like family. So we're all in this together. No High School Musical.
Rich, thank you for having us on your platform, man. Seriously, and
absolutely,
I'm excited that you're going to be there providing media coverage for us, man. Because you're slick with the camera, man. You know what you're doing there, man. So
thank you so much.
A great event photographer.
For hire,
for hire.
Hey, he didn't pay me to say that. All right,
it's a great one.
I'm telling you,
he has great quality and he knows when to capture the moment.
And the picture I post that Rich done took of me always look crispy.
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate that.
And make sure too, like, if you're an artist who has pictures taken from Rich, please credit the
say thank you and tag them.
Man,
say thank you.
I make sure every time I post a picture, I say Rich Howells of NEPA Scene. That's exactly what we need. Like, that's what the community is for, supporting each other, being united. Atmosfere Music Festival is going to tell that story, and we're ready for it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to come on and chat about this. I think this is a really great event and something that our audience should definitely check out. We hope to see you there. It's coming up at the Ritz Theater in Scranton on Saturday, July 20th. As a 14 acts.
14.
That's great.
And you're seeing 2 of the 14 right now.
Starts at 6 p.m. Tickets. You can get them online for $25 to $35, but if you hit up any of these guys,
any one of us, anybody on the flyer, $20. if you come to us with more than you want 5 or more tickets, we can work something out. Just come contact us. Come contact us. We're all online, and everything's on the flyer. Just find one of our ads.
And we appreciate you guys tuning in to the podcast. If you enjoyed the interview, please please share, please do all the good algorithm stuff to get the word out. And not just about the NEPA Scene Podcast and what we're doing here, but what these guys are doing here so that we can reach more and more people. And we will see you here next Wednesday for another episode. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night for a new episode of NEPA Scene Sessions, our acoustic session series that we do right here in the studio. We have Betty White Devil, great name. Great songs, going to be really, really cool. So check that out tomorrow night. The stream starts at 7, and then we'll see you here next Wednesday. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Baker.
Bow.